All right, guys. Whew, I apologize. I am filthy, messy. I did get the transfer case out, and I ran into a little bit of an issue. This shaft here is bigger than the shaft on this one. Quite a bit bigger. However, the end shaft is the same, DHD. So I'm guessing this either came out of like a automatic transmission, maybe, to where the trans side is different, possibly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swap this tail shaft for right now. Fortunately, that is the same. So what you'll do is, if you're wondering about this, this is like a seal that pops out. Now a lot of people will RTV around this seal when you put it in, because they're known to get dry rotted and then crack and then leak. And this part is pretty close to the vehicle, so you want to try to get that out. But if you can see in there, there is like a snap ring that you have to separate, and then you have to take your bolts out, obviously, and then pull the shaft off. So I'm going to attempt, I don't think you guys can see anything, but you stick your tool in here, pull it apart, right like that. So guys, this is what it will look like. This bearing is still good, which is good. And your tail shaft looks like that right there. So you can see that snap ring down in there. And we should be good. So now I can show you guys the fix I did a long time ago, which, if you look right here, see that? That's just, it broke off when and right here as well. These both broke when the drive shaft broke, and so this ended up breaking from the drive shaft hitting it, and welding it still might be an option. I'll see if my someone who can weld, could weld it up. I really don't know. This gasket is a joke. But these sell for, just these tail shafts right here are selling for about $600 on eBay. Alright guys, it is update time. I will show you guys what I did last night, and kind of the issue I ran into. So this is my old transfer case. This is the new one I bought. That is my old transfer case housing, and this is the new transfer case housing that came off of this. So a couple things. This was the old one. You can see the ears here, and I tried to ghetto fix it back when my U-joint busted. I the drive shaft slapped the housing, and it cracked here, and it also cracked my case on my old one that I didn't see till I actually was looking at the transfer case. So I went ahead and swapped some parts from the new one onto this. Now, I originally had just bought it for this tail shaft here, but then I thought, hey, let me just swap the transfer case on. That would have been the easiest. But like I said earlier, the input shaft was too small. This one's bigger, so that wouldn't have worked. But I am glad to get this fixed. Also, the four-wheel drive adapter, which goes onto here, has a seal, and this is that seal. So that's in the Jeep. I'm getting ready to pull that out now, and then this slides on here, and so that's actually what keeps it leaking from the transmission side, is this, and then this one keeps the transfer case from leaking. I know it's very complicated, and I don't have, or it sounds complicated, and I can't really get under there and show you guys just with lighting, but that's the deal. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go under there, put the jack under the transmission and like hold it up while I take the trans brace off and get that intermediate four-wheel drive housing out of there, because I need to reseal that because it was leaking as well. I'm guessing when I had the drive shaft break and it kind of shocked and vibrated some stuff, it just loosened everything up from that initial shock. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Alright guys, fast forward 2 days from when I last was on here. I've been having some trials with this whole situation. First of all, my fluid container tipped over somehow, and all the fluid that was in the transmission is now on the floor. So I've got to clean that up. It's just, I've got bigger fish to fry at this point. So what we have here is my old tail shaft off of my NV45 transmission and a new one. And the reason I got a new one is, if you look on the old one, there is a hairline crack right here. I flip it on the inside. I was going to try to fix it, that's why I did this. But then I noticed somewhere, oh, right here, you can see there's another crack right here. And the truth is, this is just not good. Now this is, I believe, like cast aluminum. This one is cast iron, I believe. It is substantially much heavier, probably, I would say probably twice as heavy as the aluminum one, but this should hold up much better to any kind of abuse that may happen. Also, I'm a little curious about what may have happened to the trans, because this was broken when I got the trans. So you can see it was cracked, like maybe it got dropped or something. So I'm not going to be using this or trying to fix it. For $109 I got this one, 2-day shipping. off of eBay right to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these dowel pins to the new one. That way we have the alignment dowels. And I already checked everything as far as fitment goes. It'll bolt right on. Now, there's a couple things. I have a gasket here. I don't know if you're even supposed to put gaskets on here. I don't know, but we may put it on just as a fun thing to do. But I don't know that the holes are actually lining up. Yeah. So, yeah. The holes aren't real, well, yeah, okay, the holes are. So I may put this gasket on here, I may not. As far as transmission goes, there is a seal that runs in here and a seal on the transfer case right here, which means that no fluid should be getting in between the transfer case and this tail housing. So this is not necessary. I think a lot of people either run nothing or put like you know, RTV gasket maker on there, but a lot of people put nothing on there. I don't know if people really even use you know, these kinds of gaskets for this. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. I kind of feel like the tighter of a surface it gets, the better. And like I said, no fluid should be in this cavity anyways. And yeah, so I don't know, not sure yet what I'm going to do. So this is what I found. I've got this little kit I got from Harbor Freight, but it will work out perfect like that and like that. Then we will give it a little love tap. All right. And just like that, we are down in there where we should go. That is great. We should not leak from that seal at all. This might be a good time to bring up this. I was perusing Amazon or eBay, I can't remember. This is kind of weird though. Amazon packaging, but I ordered that off of eBay, so who knows. But those are injection lines for the P pump to 24 valve, the correct ones. So that will make the engine bay look nice and clean, instead of kind of thrown together like it does right now. The next thing to do, hop down here. Into this mess and clean up the clean up the surface, and then bolt the tail shaft back onto here, and then we can go from there. But yeah, let me do that real quick, and you know, we'll just start putting stuff back together. I got this thing all ready for the back housing. It's all cleaned up, and we can go ahead and pop this bad boy on. My favorite stuff to use is the right stuff. This stuff sets quick. It's like a minute or 5 minutes. Well, actually, take that back. This is 1 minute gasket maker. This is 90 minute. But this stuff, I love it. It sets nice and quick. But before I do anything with that, I forgot. I need to pull the guide pins out of here. So this will work perfect. So hopefully, there we go. Nice and easy. I'm going to do one at a time so I know exactly which one to put it in. Came out of this one, so it needs to go to this one. Now, it is important, while I'm on this subject, it is important to put these back in there. That way you know you are 100% lined up in every possible way, because without these in, you can kind of get the alignment a little bit off, because there's some wiggle room here. So just do yourself a favor, make sure you get these things all the way. Make sure you get them back in there is what I'm trying to say. So all right, the next one is going in this one. There you have it, guys. This is ready. You're gonna make sure it's all cleaned out. And me personally, I'm going to be generous with the RTV silicone. I do not want this leaking once I get this in here. I do like these a lot. Now, technically you don't have to do this around the holes here, but I just want to make sure that if for some reason something starts leaking, I don't have to fool with it. So it's all done now. We're gonna go ahead and pop this on, and I'll show you guys when we're done. All right guys, I cannot contain myself any longer. I have got to check out these injection lines. So we're gonna take a quick break from putting the transmission back together. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Baby. There we go. Oh, and this is going to be so much better. These go for the injection pump, and then we've got the cylinders right there. So this is going to be perfecto and nice and clean. Oh yeah. Took a quick break for dinner, but got the whole transmission, transfer case. Let me tip the lights real quick. Might make a difference. Not really. Well, I've got it all put back together, drive shafts, everything. The only thing left to do now is put transmission fluid in, which I think I may have mentioned this already, but I already ordered all that I need. You're gonna have to take this boot off. The easiest way to do that, take this boot off here. We will once we take this off, we'll be able to access the top of the gearbox. We'll take the 4 bolts off there, then we will dump the oil in there, and then we also need to fill up the transfer case, and that takes ATF, and hopefully I've got some around here somewhere, hopefully, so I can drive this, test drive it tonight. But we are so close, and I might as well throw in the injector lines while I have it up here. You can see the mess. New lines fit right like that, give or take. So that will be much cleaner. I'm not going to do it now, but at some point I may powder coat these lines or paint them. I'm just not sure, you know, and I don't have the time to do it right yet. The NV4500 takes 5 quarts. Everyone on the forums and stuff like that recommends putting 6 quarts. So put an extra quart in, and everyone says that's the way to go. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show a little cheat code that I use. All right guys, I'm gonna show you a cheat code that I use for filling my transfer case up. I have one of these bags for like gear oil. You know, a couple people put out these flex fill bags, but I fill it with the trans fluid, and then I can just get under there and squirt it in, and it makes no mess at all. So I found that to be the easiest. You know, it is more work because you have to pour it into this, but for the transfer case, that to me seems to work the best. So that's what I'm going to do. So now after the transfer case is full, it is time to fill the trans itself. And you can see here, there's 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna unscrew those 4 bolts, and then we'll pull the whole shifter off and just dump the fluid right in there. And then once we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and pop these injection lines on. bleed the lines, start her up, maybe take her for a test drive tonight. I don't know, but then we'll be done and this video will be done. Got that all wrapped up again, so now we're going to jump over here to the front and take all these injector lines off. Hopefully these just bolt right on and we're good to go, but you never know. So I think if I remember correctly, it's either a 17 or a 19. It's one of the two. 19. So yep, I'm gonna go ahead and pop these off. All right, the old lines are off. Time to put the new ones on.